Work stress has become a modern-day epidemic, but trials have shown an ancient practice could be the best way to beat it. Meditation is proving effective and it costs virtually nothing.
Henry Viana was so stressed running his previous business, with clients not paying, working long hours, he nearly threw the towel in.
You know, most men are the typical male, I have no problems, I'm fine, you know. And then next thing you know, they've done something silly like jumping off a bridge.
Henry wasn't alone. 25% of the population is depressed. Half of us are very unhappy, and stress now costs Australia $15 billion a year.
Experts are calling this an epidemic of stress.
But Dr Menosha's Sydney University team, in one of the most rigorous trials ever conducted, has proven traditional meditation can eliminate rapid thoughts that keep you wired and stressed.
And what it showed quite clearly was that a meditation technique that focuses on the experience of mental silence, in this case a technique called Sahaja Yoga, significantly reduced stress and depressive feelings.
Meditation costs virtually nothing to learn, and Henry's also taught friends to meditate the required 10 minutes twice a day.
Huge benefits. If it's changed their lives, in actual fact, it's saved their lives, 2 of them.
Doctors caution this is not an overnight solution, and those who are really depressed should be seeking medical advice. The point is, if you take up meditation early, it can prevent stress leading to mental health issues.
I was always angry, and I'm a different person now.
Cheryl Taylor, 10 News.
Alternative medicine has been used for years to treat all kinds of common ailments. Well, now one of the country's leading hospitals, the Royal Hospital for Women in Sydney, is taking that notion one step further by trialling meditation as a treatment for children with attention deficit disorder. To tell us more, we're joined now by the program coordinator, Dr Ramesh Manocha, along with Kerry Hammond and her son Ryan, who have just completed the course. Good morning to you all. Dr Manocha, let me start with you. What made you think that meditation would work for ADD sufferers?
Well, we've seen it work for a number of other chronic problems, and we'd been approached on one side by a number of parents of children with ADD who thought it might be a good idea, and on the other side we were approached by some teachers and some other parents who had used successfully meditation techniques for children with ADD.
Is it a particular type of meditation, and why does it work?
It is a particular type of meditation. It's called Sahaja Yoga. We're not sure why it works, but it seems to be very easy to use. It focuses on achieving a state of mental silence, which is unusual when we look at yoga and meditation techniques that are popularly available. And it's something that children can pick up very easily. So we thought it's worthwhile trying, and we have the results that we have now.
Kerry, what was life like in your household with Ryan and your other son Jaden before you did this course?
Very noisy, out of control. I've got a 4-year-old son as well, so it's fairly noisy at our place. And the main difficulty was concentrating on their schoolwork. When they come home from school, it was hard for them to settle down and concentrate.
And what difference has the course made?
It's made a huge difference in terms of Ryan's attention at school.
Yeah.
He's off his Ritalin totally, and he's able to achieve the same focus having used the meditation compared to the medication. We didn't have major problems with using the medication except a decreased appetite.
Yep.
It worked for him, but we wanted to try something to get him off. And Jaden's also had success. He's on a half dose of his Ritalin.
Ryan, was that the incentive for you? Were you just wanting to get off the Ritalin?
Yeah, I really wanted to get off my tablet. I didn't like having to take a tablet. Yeah.
Was it hard to learn to meditate?
No, it was quite easy actually. Yeah. Well,
what do you do? How do you do it?
Well, we just sit down, have our foot in feet, in salty, cold water, have an ice pack on our liver, and we just sit there with our hands on our lap, and just we may say things
like
to help
what?
it. Kundalini, please help me to be my own master, and things like that. And we just try and think of nothing, and we try and get a cool sensation on our hands and coming out of the top of our head.
See, I'm listening to Ryan say all of this, and I'm wondering how you get a room full of ADD kids to sit still and do this stuff.
I thought the same thing. At the beginning of the program, they were really swinging from the ceilings and bouncing off the walls. But after 1 or 2 lessons, they were able to sit down for about 5 minutes. And by the end of the program, we could easily get them to settle down for half an hour or more during the meditation. So it seems to have some sort of effect which is worthwhile.
Because, Kerry, you were prompting Ryan a little bit before. You had to do the course as well,
yes,
didn't you?
the parents were taken to a separate room, mainly because of facilities, and it was a lot quieter in our room. And we learnt to meditate and clearing techniques and vibrations so that we could help the kids achieve their meditation. It also helped when Ryan was sick just before his school swimming carnival. We did some meditation and I gave him some vibrations and some clearing techniques and made him feel a whole heap better, so he performed well the next day.
So, Ryan, you're finding that you're using it all the time as a general tool now?
Yeah, I am. For instance, in swimming carnivals at the marshalling area, I used to get really, really nervous.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, but now I can sit down and meditate and I feel a lot better. I just put my hands on my lap and just think of nothing. I feel much better.
Do the other kids at school understand what you're doing? Are they interested, or do they give you a bit of a hard time about it?
Neither, really. They
just let you do it?
Yeah, they don't give me really a hard time. They don't really mind. Yeah.
It's a technique called Sahaja Yoga, which is, I guess a lot of people think that yoga is very physical. This is more mental, I would imagine.
Well, not so much mental, but the real meaning of the word yoga, if we look at the tradition, it means connection. And meditation is about giving you the connection with the present moment. And when we focus on the present moment, we find that the vast majority of our unnecessary thoughts will fall away, and you can enter into a state of very simple, effortless peacefulness. And it's quite spontaneous, and children seem to be actually a bit better at it than adults on the whole.
Ryan's ADD is more of a concentration deficit rather than necessarily a hyperactivity situation. Is he a better candidate for meditation than, say, the hyperactive kids?
It's hard to say. We certainly had children with the more hyperactive style of the disorder as well, and they seem to respond. It's early days. We really need to take the results from this initial clinic and expand it to look more closely at a wider variety of children, and then possibly look at the establishment of some formal trials.
Are you convinced enough to go into to offer a full-time clinic? And what about for people around the country who can't access your facility? Can they just look into Sahaja Yoga for their own kids?
Yes, we are convinced enough to look at running a full-time clinic if we can get the numbers of people to put their names down. And while they can't access, people outside of Sydney may not be able to access the clinic that we're thinking of putting together here, they can certainly try the technique out, and I think you're going to show a phone number.
We will certainly do. We'll tell people how they can get in touch with, and they can. And so Sahaja Yoga, access that around the country.
Yes. It's,
have you changed as a person, Kerry? Are you more relaxed, sort of spaced out gal now?
Not really. Sometimes I am. I do feel generally a lot less anxious and able to be in control when the kids aren't, for example. So
that sounds like a good thing.
Yeah. I feel generally a lot better. And I'm just really pleased with the improvement in the boys.
Sure.
And my 8-year-old sits quietly and meditates for 5 or 10 minutes, and he's never quiet. So,
wow.
Yeah, I'm really impressed.
Well, that's fantastic. Thank you all for coming in and telling us about it today.
Thank you.
About the positive effects of meditation. Dr. Ramesh Manocha is here to tell us more. Good morning to you, Doc.
Hi.
Tell us about this new evidence to begin with.
Well, for many years, scientists and punters have been wondering whether or not there's something special about meditation and its effect on the brain. And a lot of research has been done which has been inconclusive in looking at how meditation affects the brain until recently, where some new evidence has emerged showing that certain meditation techniques, and a technique in particular called Sahaja Yoga, is generating a unique pattern of brain electrical activity.
Now, what you've done in your experiment here, and we've just got the shot on the screen there now, one of your subjects has been wired up.
Yes.
Talk us through that. What did you do, and what did you find out?
Well, this is a young lady who's been meditating for many years, and we attached a highly sophisticated EEG, or brain electrical activity detector, to her scalp using that cap there, and then we asked her to meditate while we measured the changes that occurred in her brain activity during the meditative experience.
Were there changes?
Yes, there were. Quite remarkable. In the past, what we have found is that meditation is about the same in terms of generating changes in the brain as, say, relaxation or dozing off or listening to music. But this particular technique is producing not only very profound alpha states, but also a characteristic pattern of theta wave activity in the front and the top of the brain, which is not seen in other meditation techniques and is directly associated with enhanced concentration, reduced stress and feeling good inside.
Yeah, can we bring that graphic, if we can, back up on the screen now, just to show, we had two shots there, one on the left, one on the right, just to talk us through that.
Well, this is
before and after, I presume.
Yeah.
Before and during.
It is what you would call a light meditation and then a deeper state of meditation. And what you see there is a focus of activity at the front of the head. The first diagram on the left, you see the little pointy thing at the top of the circle, that's a nose, the little things on the side of the ears, and you'll see a focus of orange activity at the front of the head and the frontal parts of the brain. And as the person goes into deeper states of meditation, that activity shifts to the top of the head. And that's not been seen in any other meditation technique except for once in some Zen meditators in the mountains of Japan. But it's never been reproduced by a technique that's commonly available in Western countries.
So overall, so we've proved that something is happening inside the brain.
Yes.
Is it a positive effect?
It seems to be positive because other studies that we've done here at the Royal Hospital for Women and overseas have shown that this meditation technique is associated with improvements in blood pressure, improvements in general health, reductions in stress. It can be useful for asthma, ADD, things like that. So now we're seeing that there are actually changes in the brain that are associated with these benefits.
So meditation, I mean, it sounds so out there. It sounds like such a foreign, thing to get involved in. But it's not anymore, is it? And you're stressing the health benefits of it.
Yes, I mean, doctors are now recommending meditation very commonly. And a good quality meditation technique that focuses on the authentic state of meditation, which is a state called thoughtless awareness or mental silence, can be quite beneficial, and I think that's where this...
It's so difficult to achieve, though, isn't it? I mean, you have to be really dedicated to this craft to get to that state, that mental benefit state.
Well, this is the surprising thing, is that this technique called Sahaja Yoga is very easy for people to use, and we've taught it to grandmothers, we've taught it to children with ADD, we've taught it to people with cancer, well people, and they all seem to pick it up very quickly and get into that state, that characteristic state of mental silence.
All right. Oh, it's good to hear a non-drug, and non-herbal based remedy either, curing yourself almost in that regard.
That's right, using the internal healing powers that exist in all of us.
All right. Dr. Ramesh Manocha, good to see you again. Thanks for enlightening us
Thank you.
on that one.